Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I've been getting a lot of comments of how aesthetic my room looks, how aesthetic I am. I guess I asked if you would like a video on how to be aesthetic and you all said yes. So hi, want to say hi? So I'm gonna talk about that today. But before I get started, just a few disclaimers. First of all, don't be too attached to that idea that you have to be like all the Pinterest boards and all the aesthetic social media accounts. You don't have to be. They're just pictures, they're just videos, they're just creating a vibe on purpose, and it's not like it's by accident, like a screenshot from someone's life. So don't be too attached to that idea because they're just photos and pictures, and honestly they're not that real. Hi, I just want to mention something because today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp. Social media can be very toxic. You compare yourself with everyone else. You want to be perfect and aesthetic just like everyone else that you see on social media, but that comes with a lot of stress, pressure, or even depression. Almost 4 years ago, I almost had a burnout myself. I was very stressed out. I felt worse and worse mentally every day. My doctor sent me through to a therapist and I talked to her every single week for months. It was so nice to talk about my problems, even if it wasn't stress related, just to get it off my chest, and also that she could actually help. It was her job. She was there to help me. She was there to listen. They're there to help you feel better. So that's why I recommend you to take a look at BetterHelp. BetterHelp offers licensed therapists that are there to help you. BetterHelp has over 20,000 therapists that can offer you the help that you may not be able to get in your area. Once you've signed up, you will get a therapist assigned to you within 48 hours. Talk to your therapist at a private online environment at your convenience. You can schedule video and phone sessions, and you're able to send an unlimited amount of messages with your therapist. And if you're not feeling it with your therapist, you can request a new one at any time with no additional charge. Therapy really helps. I speak from experience. Go to this link to get 10% discount on your first month on BetterHelp. The link will also be in the description. Please check it out. Mental health is so underrated, but it's so incredibly important. Enjoy the rest of the video. For me, becoming aesthetic was more about creating a space that I love, finding the clothes that I felt comfortable in. That's more the idea that you should have about wanting to be aesthetic. And I do want to mention that you don't just have to pick one aesthetic. For me, the different aesthetics were kind of a guideline, but I kind of created more of my own aesthetic. Now let's talk about different kinds of aesthetic in case you haven't figured out your aesthetic yet. If you have, you can go to this timestamp and I will talk more about being aesthetic. I am not an expert on all the kinds of different aesthetics, so I might say something wrong. The first aesthetic is that girl. This one has been so popular this year. I think it's kind of toxic. That girl is really about living the healthy life, getting up early, working out, taking care of your skin, all that kind of stuff. It's really about being that perfect girl. That's the vibe that I'm getting from it. The next one is cottagecore aesthetic. I love this aesthetic. Cottagecore is very down to earth. What is popular is neutral tones, a lot of green, white, very living in a cottage in the woods. That's kind of the vibe. The next one is soft girl. I love this one as well. This one is very sweet and cute. With this one comes a lot of white and bright colors or pastel colors. It's more cutesy and innocent. The next one is grunge aesthetic. This is kind of like the opposite, I believe. Grunge is a bit more rough. It's more black and white, red. I don't have a lot of knowledge on this aesthetic. Definitely look it up more. Look on Pinterest, look on Google. Next one is Visco Girl. This one was definitely really popular about 3 years ago, I think. Visco Girl is more the beach type, summer type aesthetic. The Hydro Flask is very popular. I used to be some kind of a Visco girl. My friends made fun of me because of it. The next one is the Academia aesthetic. Academia. You have the light aesthetic and the dark aesthetic. The college vibes are very popular. The desk area is very popular. There are a lot of books in this aesthetic. Light academia is more light, bright, a lot of white, beige. Dark academia is more also black, dark brown. Overall, it's like the college vibe that comes with this. The next one is minimalistic. It's just minimal. It's white, beige, not a lot of color. Sometimes there is some color. You can mix and combine, so don't be afraid. Outfits are more simple, not a lot of text or prints or whatever. The next one is boho or bohemian. This one's also more down to earth. Plants, very big in this one. I like this one as well. It's very cozy and warm. The next one is artsy or artho as some call it. This one's for the people who are overall very creative. You don't have to be, but most of the time with this aesthetic comes a lot of creativity, a lot of color. Moving on, what is definitely also very important in the aesthetics is the trends. I feel like being aesthetic is also hopping on the trends that are going on. For example, at some point a few years ago, scrunchies really came back. Definitely not just in one aesthetic. I feel like a lot of girls in general, no matter what the aesthetic, bought scrunchies, and that's why you also have them in so many different styles, prints, colors. Hopping on those trends also makes you more aesthetic. You don't just have to stick to one certain aesthetic. You can mix and match attach. You can create your own aesthetic, but what is important is that it is at least a little bit cohesive and that it fits well together. This is a picture of how my wall looked before I turned it into this, and I have to say it wasn't very cohesive. Nothing really fit as well together. There wasn't really a certain color palette in it. Definitely looks a lot better now. I kind of have the same colors on my wall, and that makes it look very put together and makes it look really good. Try to make it all work together. The way you do that is with Pinterest, of course. Pinterest is your best friend for everything. I know a lot of people say this, but make Pinterest boards. Maybe one for clothes, maybe one for your room. Look at different aesthetics, save whatever you like from that. Try to make your own color palette. What colors do you like and want? Light colors, dark colors. Do you want a lot of white? Maybe not at all. Also, what do you want in your room? What do you like as room decor? What do you like as clothing items? Do you maybe like baggy clothes or more skinny jeans? That way you get a really good idea of what you actually want and like. And it's okay if it changes over time. I started my Pinterest boards like a few years ago and it was so different then than what it is now, and that is okay too. Then onto your phone, there are definitely some things you can do about your phone as well. Get a cute phone case. Whatever you like, you can get a lot of different things, of course. Just go into like AliExpress or something and get a bunch of cute phone cases. Also your background, of course. You can find a lot of different cute backgrounds on Pinterest. Try to get a few that go well together, so have one for your lock screen and then for your home screen. And also, of course, widgets. If you have an iPhone, you probably have it on some other phones as well, but widgets are very great to make your phone aesthetic. I'll show you a few of my pages. I have like 2 widgets on each page, and my favorite is the Pinterest widget. You can just create a board if you like, or just pick one of your boards as a widget. So you can just get a lot of aesthetic pictures or just positive quotes to keep you happy throughout the day, or you can make a mix of both, whatever you like. And you can just have that as a widget on your phone, and every, I don't know, every 1 or 2 hours or something, the picture change and you get to see a different picture. And really look through widgets, because there are a lot of apps that actually have widgets which you wouldn't expect. Definitely look into that and make something out of it. Make it fun, make it creative. Another one is I don't use caps. I've turned out automatic cap in my settings, so automatically the first letter will be in caps, but I've turned that off. I personally find it just aesthetic if you don't use caps. I definitely see a lot of people do this as well, and I just really like it. Then also onto social media, especially Instagram. You can do a lot with Instagram. This is my Instagram page. Something you should really pay attention to is your post and kind of a color palette for your post. Kind of give them all the same edit, same color. Something that I'm definitely not good at. I'm working on it. Also the highlights, where you combine a bunch of your stories and make a highlight out of it. You can upload your own photo from your gallery and make that the highlight photo. As you can see, I have a lot of cute ones. I just got these off of Pinterest, but you can really make anything of this. That can definitely add a lot to your account. Also your name and bio can be aesthetic. As you can see, I use a lot of different, well, special characters and stuff. If you also want that, I have an app for that. I've had it for years. It's called Characters. This is what it looks like. In this app, you have a lot of different characters, also different letters, so you can also write stuff in a fun way. You can just type it in the app, then you can copy it and paste it somewhere else. It'll work everywhere, as far as I've tried. So that is also a tip. Makes it also aesthetic. That is kind of it for the phone. Then of course you also have clothes, hair, room, that kind of stuff. For clothes, it's really more tied to your aesthetic, because of course there's a lot of different things with that, but what's overall just really popular is mom jeans, and it's always good to have closet essentials. A plain white tank top or t-shirt, plain black tank top and t-shirt, just plain tops as well, because you can combine them really easily. White sneakers are also kind of a must. Unless you're really not into white, you can get just simple black sneakers. Also jewelry. I feel like jewelry also adds so much to a certain aesthetic. You can pick between silver and gold, but you don't have to. You can mix and match if you like. I would suggest you just get a bunch of different jewelry, something that goes with every outfit, stuff that you can layer, chokers, longer necklaces, bracelets, a lot of different rings, so you can mix and match. That also keeps it fresh and exciting. Then your hair is also something to think about. There are a lot of cute different hairstyles you can look on Pinterest as well. I also made 2 videos, I think, in which I showed you aesthetic hairstyles, but your hair also spices it up and can also make you look more aesthetic. Claw clips are very aesthetic at the moment. You can have them in many different shapes, sizes, colors. They're really handy. I really like claw clips myself. Then for your room, I have one video video in which I specifically tell you everything on how to make your room aesthetic. I also have a video in which I show you the most popular room aesthetics. I also just have how to make your room aesthetic with DIYs, so you can make DIYs to make your room aesthetic. I have a bunch of aesthetic room decor videos, so I will link that playlist down below and see what you want to watch from that. I guess that was everything I had on how to be aesthetic. One more disclaimer, you can't change your life into being aesthetic overnight. It's gonna take some time, it's gonna take some money, definitely. If you liked this video and if you thought it was helpful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to become a part of the family. If you have any questions or maybe any tips, then also definitely leave them in the comments below. Check out my other videos on how to make your room aesthetic. They will definitely be very helpful. I hope I will see you in my next video.